Hello and welcome back to the Orlando Adventures podcast. I'm your host Russ, and today we've got two very, very special guests. We have got Dan and Kimberly, the Hambletons. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Hello there.
Really, really nice to have you on. Really nice. It's been a little while coming. We were just saying before we kind of came on air.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Literally, I remember when you said, "Oh, there's a guy Russ who wants to do a podcast." That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Thinking, now it's here. It's great.
Yeah, here we are.
I actually can't believe how quickly it has came around. We planned it 3 months ago, and it's already. Yeah, I can't believe how quickly this year's got going. So.
Oh, I know, but also that means closer to trips back to Orlando.
Literally, we've both said this. I know it's bad to do it. We've both been wishing our life away this year, just because we had 2 big trips booked for this year. So we didn't really want to do any for annual leave purposes. We couldn't do anything before August. So yeah, we just feel like we've been sat at home wishing our life away.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean though. To be fair, with Orlando, I think we all do it. We're all I've got a trip booked in 12 months time and I can't wait for next year.
That's it.
Yeah, literally. And then all of a sudden you're oh my God, and now I'm almost 30 because I've been wishing all my years away.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So who are Kimberly and Dan? Who are you both?
So we are a 30-year-old couple. We're from Reading. Yeah.
Yeah.
Us, really.
Yeah. I know you. Yeah. You're. So some people might know you as Kimberly's Journey from Instagram. Yeah.
All my socials are Kimberly's Journey, and obviously I posted a lot of my social media. I posted a lot on social media, and then you kind of joined in.
I had no choice to join.
Dan got roped in.
He literally did. Because obviously I've always posted on Instagram. And it wasn't about originally it was obviously just all about the food stuff. So when I started posting on YouTube, obviously he was going to be there and he was well, I'm willing to give it a go. And so now it's kind of hard to incorporate Daniel's name into it because I'm known on social media as Kimberly's Journey, and I'm how do I change it? So you're Dan.
I'm Dan. Just
no, we're lucky to have Dan on the YouTube and the Instagram as well. So
people actually said it. So in our first round of vlogs, obviously because we'd never vlogged before, and Daniel, it was Daniel's first time doing anything relating to social media. So a lot of it was still kind of just me because that's kind of how I'd been doing it before. But obviously Daniel was there and my parents were also there. So they were in there a little bit. And I was getting a few comments why is nobody else in the vlogs that much? And I'm I didn't really know how to do it because it was always my social media. And I didn't want to shove the camera in my mum and dad and Daniel's face all the time. And then the next time round I
got well into it now.
Yeah, you did.
Even I do try on Instagram, so I post more on Instagram, and it's going all right. It's going fine. I mean, I've made quite a few friends as well, through Instagram, through YouTube, and
it's amazing. This community, and I've said this a lot, to be fair, in previous episodes. This community of people who love Orlando and Disney and Universal is nuts.
Honestly, it is.
Yeah, and everyone's so nice as well, and just being able to kind of share a passion with so many people about this one thing that we all kind of have in common, I think is wicked. I really
agree. I've been posting on social media for 4 or 5 years now, and obviously, as I said, a lot of it was just about food stuff to begin with. But I didn't the more I started chatting to people about my recipes and just things like that, and the more you get to know these people, there's so many people that do love Orlando. So obviously, as I said, it was about food at first. So a lot of the people I was following was about that as well. And then all these people were oh, I love Orlando as well. I think about 80% of my followers love Orlando.
Yeah, amazing. You said about your recipes. You start your page as kind of a fitness journey page.
Yeah. I started my Instagram page back in, it was weirdly, I was looking the other day, it was March 2019, and me and Daniel had just moved in together about 3 months before that, and I basically was on a bit of a health kick. I wanted to lose some weight, and so I did originally do Slimming World, and I also couldn't cook. I was a really, really bad cook, so I just said, do you know what?
Hard to believe.
I'm gonna I started learning how to cook because we just moved in together, and everything I was learning was healthy recipes. And I was oh, actually, rather than just doing Slimming World recipes, I'm going to make my favorite meals, but make them healthier. So I was doing recipes that we'd had in Florida And so I just started posting on Instagram because I felt like I was boring my normal followers on my personal page. I was like, I need like a dedicated page just for this. And it just kind of all went a bit crazy, really. I would say in COVID, it went mad. I'm like,
just blew up.
Because everybody had to obviously stay at home and cook themselves. You couldn't actually go out and eat in a restaurant because that wasn't a thing.
And even at the beginning of COVID, you couldn't really get takeaways at first either. So genuinely, there was at one point, like when we went into lockdown, I was getting like 700 followers a day, and I was like ringing Daniel because he could still work. I could work. I was like working from home, and I was ringing Daniel. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is actually mental. I and it just all happened so fast. And then, it kind of all just really went a bit from there.
Oh, nice. So but absolutely smashed it. Anyone who follows your page will see, like, you're like all over it. Like, your recipes look so good as well. Like, every day I see recipes come up and I'm like, yep, now I'm hungry.
I'm very lucky. Like, the meals she does cook are amazing.
I just started a new, because outside of social media, I work in an office, and I've worked there for it is officially 6 years, but I left for a little bit in January and went to a different job, and it just didn't work out. People would have seen that online. But one of the guys that I work with at the office, he's like, so do you actually, like, do you cook these meals every day? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he was like, but like, how do you get the time? And I'm like, I'm just so used to it now. But as I said, ever since we've moved in together, I've just cooked my recipes and filmed. No, I didn't used to film them. Obviously, reels didn't used to be a thing. So I used to just take a picture. But it's like second nature now. Like, not long ago, Daniel actually said to me, he goes, how boring would it be if, like, we came home from work and you didn't film a recipe? He was like, we would just make dinner. And like, obviously it does take me a bit longer. Like, my recipes are like 20 minutes, but for me it takes like an hour because I've got to set the camera, I've got to do this, got to do that, prep this, do that. But so for us, dinner time's a bit of a
it's great fun.
A bit of a show.
We do enjoy it.
Daniel just waits till we eat his dinner.
There is that. We'll make the pictures.
He's sat there behind me with his knife and fork, and I'm like, just a minute, I just need another angle.
I love that. I mean, that's fantastic. And you've got a recipe book as well.
So that came about last year, actually. So as I said, like, obviously my Instagram grew, and then as of like last year, I just had loads of different opportunities come up last year. So just as we were getting ready to go to Florida, it was either the day before we went or the day we come home, because two things happened. So one happened the day we went and one happened the day we come home. A company reached out to me and they asked if I would be interested in bringing out a cookbook.
Wow.
So obviously, like, that took a few months to like get in motion, film everything. But I also then at the same time was asked to come out with like a recipe platform. Like a monthly subscription that people pay for, and they get like weekly meal plans, shopping lists, recipe cards, and I do it a lot around like budget friendly, like fake away style meals. So that literally happened at the same time. So last year was a very busy year.
No, that's wicked though. Like, just like kind of getting involved in loads of different stuff, and like, especially when it kind of ties into stuff that you've already been doing and like you're enjoying doing it.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Oh, fantastic! No, I'm glad it's going good though, because it looks like everything looks really good, and like coming back to YouTube, like the two of you are so likable, like genuinely. Like, I love watching your vlogs because you're like two totally normal people, which you're like in the nicest way.
No, like, I know what you mean. Yeah,
we're like totally genuine.
It's literally we're just us, just filming our journeys and our holidays.
And weirdly, that was actually why I chose the name Kimberly's Journey, because originally it was Kimberly's Slimming Journey on just Instagram. But when I started when I created a YouTube channel, I done a few cooking videos, and I used to go like post some really in-depth tips on how, because I lost like 5 stone in 4 months. So a lot of people were like, how did you do that? So I posted like really like in-depth tips on how I done it. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to start my YouTube as Kimberly's Slimming Journey. I'm just going to do Kimberly's Journey because I just want it to be about the journey of everything I get up to, like along life. And it ended up tying in quite nicely with the fact that we now do a few travel vlogs. Yeah,
no, wicked. And Dan, what is it you do?
I do pretty much anything outdoors related, really.
Nice.
I do obviously landscape gardening, so you're like your patios, fencing, lots of things like that. But tree surgery came in probably about 6 years ago now, and I love it. Absolutely glad I started it, and it is great. Like being outdoors, climbing these trees, and
Can I just add something though? This is the boy that when I first met him was scared of heights, like petrified. He wouldn't go on roller coasters in Florida. Our first Florida trip, like he didn't go on anything. And I literally, I'm just going to sound a bit bad on me. I got in such a mood with him because he wouldn't go on any of the rides. But I knew he'd love it. I knew he'd love it, and I was like, I know you'll like it. Like you love cars, you love like speed. Like why would you?
I think it's because obviously when I was a lot younger, my family, we did go to Florida, we did Disney, Universal. I think I took that like from my mum.
Yeah, his mum's very scared of flying and heights.
And so I think I got that from her.
Kind of got it in your head that I'm not going to like this.
From a very young age as well. Yeah. But obviously now, with Kimberly going on our trips, I love everything. Yeah.
Just go on from that. So to now the fact that he does tree surgery and he's like, he'll send me pictures of these trees going up. And I'm like, the boy I met would never have been up there.
He's like hanging off the top of a tree.
Exactly.
He actually was hanging out of a tree once before. He rung me and he was like, oh, just to let you know, I just like was hanging upside down out of a tree and I was stuck. And I was like,
still a bit of fun.
I was like, well, that's great to know because we're going on holiday in a couple of weeks. Let's not be breaking any legs and falling out of trees.
Oh,
you can't fall. It's pretty safe.
Yeah,
like hanging upside down out of a tree.
Yeah, he's just having fun, you know.
Exactly. To be honest, even when boys being boys when they were younger, they used to climb trees for fun. Yeah, now I do it for a living.
Yeah, there you go. Like to get paid to do it. Like, exactly. Yeah, spot on. Just with regards to like your YouTube channel, like so obviously you said that you started it from your journey, Kimberly, but then decided to branch out into Orlando as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of like decided, you know what, I'm going to vlog everything. Is that kind of where you're at? You're going to just do kind of like any vlogs?
I done so I vlogged I started vlogging a couple of bits. So I done like recipes, and then I done one vlog about my Invisalign journey. I don't know why I never ended up doing another one, just because I was trying to find like my feet with vlogging. And as I said, like during lockdown, people kind of like was like chatting to us quite a lot. Well, myself obviously on my Instagram page, and they found out obviously my love for Disney. So people actually asked us to vlog our trips because like they said, oh, next time you go back, like you should vlog it. And we thought about it for ages, didn't we? So that's why we ended up buying a camera, because obviously we were still in lockdown at this point. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to post a couple of different videos on YouTube, get my feel for like how I can vlog, how to edit more so, and then we'll vlog our next trip. So it kind of went from there really, like obviously me already being posted on social media, and then obviously people started asking us to do it, so we thought why not give it a go.
How would you actually find vlogging in the parks then for both of you?
I mean, well, I find it okay, to be honest. I'm quite good around people, around crowds. I do find it quite difficult in the UK. So especially, like,
we're a judgy lot in the UK.
We are. Exactly. Like if you have your camera or your phone out, people are scowling in the back, like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And so I kind of, when I went to America the first time, and I was vlogging in America, and you can even see the difference when you're in the UK airport to the moment you get to America. I was really nervous because I was like, every time someone was looking at the camera, like when I was like filming, I could look at myself in the camera and saw people in the background looking. I was just thinking they were going to be like the typical Brits who are like, oh, what are you doing? But it's not. Americans are in the background, like waving, like saying hi. I'm not going to lie. I'm better now, but I was quite nervous to begin with, just because I was like, I don't really know why, but I was like, why do people care? But I got in my head about it. Anytime there was something that I didn't want to do, I'd be like, Dan, you can go and film this.
So mainly in the shops, obviously when it's all quite close, everyone's together, she'll hand me the camera and then we'll go around, I'll film in the shops and so on. Which,
I would say, because we've actually only ever vlogged 3 of our Florida trips. So our first one was when we first went back after like the borders opened again. Then we done our May 2023 trip and October 2023 trip. And I would say our 2 trips last year, I really just kind of didn't care anymore. I was like, because I realized the Americans and that, and everybody in the parks don't care. It is just genuinely when you're in the UK that people are like, so no, we've kind of got our feet with it now.
Oh, definitely.
And weirdly, we've both found this out, that for some reason, when we do our first water park day, as soon as we've done that, we're like new people on the camera. It's like going to the water park opens us up. So we're like, okay.
I don't know what that is.
So we now always try to plan like a water park day at our trip, because we know that it kind of just brings us out of our shell a little bit.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic. And did you have any like inspiration in terms of other vloggers to do Florida vlogs?
Well,
We loved Jade and Matt.
Jade and Matt. Have you heard?
Did you ever watch them?
I have. Oh, I don't think I have. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've consumed some content over the years.
Yeah. So they again. I think they only ever uploaded like 3 or 4 rounds of Florida vlogs, but we only really found them in it lockdown. I think it was in lockdown.
Okay.
And because actually before lockdown, we'd never watched any Florida vlogs. I've always loved Florida, and we've always gone, but we never watched the vlogs. And yeah, because we were like missing it so much during lockdown, we were like,
what can we do? We need
that fix. So we started watching them. We watched theirs, and we loved them as a couple. But they split up. It was like 2-3 years, 2021, I think it was. And Jade ended up deleting all of her social medias. She had a really big following as well. I think she had like over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But yeah,
they were a great couple.
They were a great couple, but obviously they didn't end up working out. But we loved their vlogs. They were just so like likable, normal, and they done it quite similar to how we do it. And we really liked them. But we also love Mr. Morrow, Paige and Mr. Morrow. He's our favourite. Yeah,
absolute legend. Yeah, no, fair enough. Nice.
But I actually would also say I think we prefer watching UK vloggers.
Oh, definitely.
Because we relate to them.
We can relate to
them. So like watching a travel day vlog from UK people, like you can feel the excitement through the screen, and you know what that feeling feels like. Whereas we're never going to feel it like Mr. Morrow, because he lives there, so he can just pop to Disney Springs.
He lives like a stone throw away from Disney.
So as much as we love him, there's just something about watching a UK vlogger and seeing that travel day. We love a travel day vlog. Like
I'm the same. I don't know what it is. It's something about just seeing what other people do on their travel day. I don't even know why, but I love just like watching when people get on the plane and just like get their meal and stuff.
Yeah, same, literally. And I hate airplane food, and I used to work on airplanes, but I still like, oh look, they've got their meal. Like I didn't used to serve hundreds of them.
Oh, fantastic! I suppose getting into Orlando, when you go, where do you normally stay? Where do you normally stay in and around Orlando?
We stay quite a few places, don't we? Really, we kind of like mix it up every trip.
We've never stayed at the same place twice.
No, we actually haven't.
I have. So we stayed at the Sheraton last year.
That's my favourite so far. Off-site is
the one on International Drive, the Vistana.
But Vistana Village is on,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I did stay there when I was a kid as well. So that's the only place I can say that I have stayed at twice, other than a villa as well. We've stayed at the same villa a few times. But every time I've been with Daniel, we've always just stayed at different places. But we feel like we found our favourite now, which is the Sheraton.
It is, yeah.
Just like location-wise, like we like staying on site. Don't get me wrong, but I think we're off-site people.
I think so.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, as I said, we love staying on site.
Well, where we stayed at the Caribbean beach.
Yeah.
And that was great for being on site on the Skyliner route. It's quick and easy.
Yeah, definitely. But the air conditioning unit, I know this is going to sound like really snobby, it was so loud and rackety, and like we had to turn ours off at night because we couldn't sleep with it on. But obviously being in Florida, it's so hot, we wake up sweating. And I know that that's the same at quite a lot of the Disney moderate hotels. I haven't stayed at obviously all of them, but I know that a few of them are like that. And when we stayed at the Sheraton last year, because in our head we just assumed that Caribbean Beach would be better than like the Sheraton, we were like, this is nice, this is really nice. And we're always different. It depends on the type of holiday. If it's just me and Daniel, we'll stay kind of wherever fits within our budget for that trip. But when we go with all my extended family, because literally all my family are obsessed with Florida, we stay at a villa because there's so many of us.
Just easier as well, yeah. You can get some mad villas as well. Like some of them are huge, aren't they?
Well, the one we stayed at last time, a family one, it was either 6 or 7 bedrooms because there was like 14 of us out there. And it was just ideal for a big group because you can all be together but also have your own space as well. So it kind of just
fantastic. Nice, exciting. And I suppose you said like obviously staying off site. I would argue it's easier to do stuff in and around Orlando when you stay off site.
100%.
Is there any stuff like outside of the parks that you enjoy doing in particular?
I like doing mini golf.
Yeah.
I really enjoy mini, especially Pirates Cove. Like
Pirates Cove is the one.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite long as well, to be fair.
Yeah, you're playing it for 8. I remember once we were playing it when I was a kid. I say a kid, I was about 15, and it ended up raining. And my dad was just trying to do his last hit, but because it was raining, I assumed we were all stopping, and I walked into the beeline of him hitting the ball. I got donked in the head and was walking around with a bruise on my cheek for the rest of the holiday. But yeah, we love Pirates Cove. I also like doing like the airboats, so we love Bobby Creek. Just and also like, was it last year? We went there last year, or was it when we went with my mum and dad? There was one time we went there, and that particular time it had changed since the previous visits, so they just had a bit more going on there. But yeah, we love doing like we love the parks, but we love just Florida in general. Even like so last year, we took a drive out to. I get them confused. There's Winter Garden and there's Winter Park. And one of them has the original Gideon shop at. That's where the
I can't remember.
I can't remember which one it is. We even took a drive there last year. But yeah, we just love being there. So we do try and do things outside of the parks. We eat quite a lot outside of the parks as well, just because, and the restaurants, like, well, anywhere on Disney, just because how much cheaper it is as well.
Yeah. Have you got any kind of like best places to eat outside of the park?
We've got a few.
Yeah.
Go on, give us the list.
So Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
obviously has to be number one.
Yeah, top of the list.
Yeah.
Then we also love Kobe. It's the Japanese steakhouse. Yeah. It's like the teppanyaki, a bit like teppanydo, I think it is in Epcot. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. We like that.
Longhorn.
It's
another big one for me.
I would say I've had my favourite steak in Orlando in Longhorn.
Yeah.
I completely agree as well. Yeah. Right, yeah, it's top tier.
We had a few nice ones, like even on the site at Disney, but for the price that you pay, I can't. Like, we went to the Yachtsman Steakhouse last year for our anniversary, and it was incredible. It was incredible, but for the price of the meal that we paid, I can't say that it was significantly better.
Yeah, it just doesn't justify
just because of the price alone. We also love the melting pot. It's a bit of a. We would only do it like once on a trip, and we didn't even do it on both of our trips last year. It's a bit more of a. It's not fancy, but it's a bit more of like a date night. It's a bit fancier. I would say that you would want to. I wouldn't personally want to go there in like my park clothes, if that makes sense. A little bit nicer. But it's like a fondue type restaurant. So that your starter is like a cheese fondue, and they bring out different like vegetables and fruits and breads. Then the main is kind of, you choose like a flavor of broth, and then you cook your meats in there yourself. And then the dessert is like a chocolate fondue with like marshmallows. You can make like s'mores, and it is really, really nice.
Sounds fun. I've never heard of it, so that sounds decent.
Honestly, if you ever are fancying something a bit different and not like your typical sort of American style food, we love it there. We really do like it. We went there for the first time the day we got engaged, was it, or the day after? It's like a little celebration meal, and now it's become like a once a trip sort of
like
meal.
A once a trip treat kind of thing.
Definitely. It is really nice. And as you know, we love Kiki's. That is the best breakfast place in Orlando.
Good.
And that's definitely got to be up there with my favorite, I'd say.
The breakfast there, especially the turtle stuff, French toast.
Oh, it's just unreal. Absolutely unreal. And I had a lady message me. She's followed me for years, and she messaged me for loads of tips because she was going on like her first Disney trip. She was there like last month, and she sent me a picture of her when they were in Kiki's, and she just said, "This is literally the best thing I've ever eaten. I'm so glad that you told me about it." So yeah, I love getting messages like that. I'm like, honestly, Kiki's every day.
I feel like it's weirdly a bit of a hidden gem. Like, I don't see enough people going on about it.
No, same. But I want it to stay hidden.
I'm kind of alright with that.
Table.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, like whenever I've been in there, it's been busy, but I feel like it's busy with Americans.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I've never been in there at the same time as like another tourist. I've never seen like another English family at the same time. Whereas most other places I've been to, you can normally, there's a British family over there. You hear the accent.
Oh, fantastic! So, go on. When's the next trip then?
So we got Vegas coming up.
Well, we're doing Vegas and Disneyland in literally like 18 days or something like that.
Amazing!
Now.
I bet you can't wait for that.
I'm literally buzzing.
That's your big 30th birthday, isn't it?
So celebrating that out there, and we also just had to tie it in with like Disneyland, go see the OG park.
Got to be done. Yeah, absolutely.
Florida is actually, we're going on the 10th of October.
Not long at all as well.
No, literally so soon. We're going with all of my family. I say all of my family. One of my brothers and like his family, my sister and her son. He was at my nephew George. He's coming again. The one who was in our vlogs in May last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's gonna be 14 of us, I think, in the villa. So
nice.
Because it's gonna be a bit of a crazy one with so much of us. Me and Daniel was like, okay, so we'll go a few days before them, stay in a hotel just for a few days, get like, because we there's certain things that we know we really, really want to do that we. Like, for instance, my 8-year-old niece is going to be out there. So there's certain things that we want to do that we know they won't necessarily love.
Yeah.
Well, rather than splitting up from the group, we'll just go a few days earlier, do what we want to do, and then we can take it at a bit of a slower pace with the rest of them.
Yeah, no, nice. That's a cool idea. I was just about to ask, like, are you going to try and do effing as a group all the time? But yeah, kind of like
we will, but we will try and split up a few times, like because my mum and dad don't go on all of the rides now, so it'd be a case of like the younger lot kind of going off onto the rides, and then we'll kind of like split up. But yeah, so yeah, we'll do most things together, but we'll
try.
And there's also one day where all the men are going off to Kennedy Space Centre, and the women are going to do like a girls' day. We're going to do like a princess brunch for my niece.
Amazing.
So yeah, so that'll be a bit different.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Kennedy Space Centre.
Yeah.
Have you done it before, Dan?
I did it many years ago with my family, but we didn't. I think we only went to watch the space shuttle coming into land, which was amazing. But yeah, it was.
I bet that was stunning. Yeah.
And I can't really remember the museum much because I was quite young, but I do remember seeing a space shuttle in there. But obviously, it's probably changed a lot since I last went.
Yeah,
but
it's a good day out though. To be fair, there's a lot to see there, and I think it's one of those like when. Definitely, because the same as yourself, I went when I was younger and I probably didn't really appreciate it.
No, exactly, same here.
Because I probably didn't understand what half of it was. I was just like, whatever, I want to be in Disney or something. But now I think I'm just kind of like so much more appreciation for what it actually is, and like you get a lot out of it for a day. I think it's a good day out. Good day out.
No, we are looking to it. Let's say
my nephew loves like anything to do with like space and stuff. So it's actually his birthday the day before they all fly out. So that's kind of like his little birthday kind of day out treat thing that they're all going to do. So that should be good.
Yeah, fantastic. So how long is it you're actually going for? Sorry.
A big trip this year, so it's actually just over 3 weeks because
amazing.
It wasn't meant to be, but we ended up messing up our flights a little. I say messing up. So
we did it on purpose.
It sounds like a happy accident.
Yeah, happy accident. But yeah, we're staying 5 nights on site at Disney. Then we're doing the 16 nights in the villa, and we were meant to fly home with all my family, but because we use Virgin reward flights and our points, there was no reward flights available for the days home that we wanted to. So it was either go home like 5 or 6 days before everybody else, or go home 2 days after them. So we chose 2 days after. So now we're going to we're staying at a Universal hotel for that 2 nights.
Awesome. Sounds like such a good trip. Such a good trip. You're going to do all the parks? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we're going to do all of them. Busch Gardens, all of them. Yeah, Discovery Cove. So yeah.
It's going to be a busy trip.
Busy trip. But I'm glad that we've got that bit of extra time, so we can take it a little bit slower paced. So
yeah, it's nice to have a few more kind of like rest days or slower days in the middle, so you're not just like back to back.
Our first day or two, we haven't 100% decided yet, but we know for 100% our first day this time we're not going to be at a park, just because we're trying to start our tickets that little bit later because we're out there a bit longer. So it's going to be a bit of a different start to our trip for us, but we're looking forward to it because
something we haven't done as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be good.
Exciting. Well, looking forward to seeing the vlogs on this one as well. Very exciting. Are you going to vlog the Vegas trip as well?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do that. Just because we were speaking to Ellie and Mitchell about this just before they went, and they were like, there's not many Vegas vlogs out there from like UK vloggers. Obviously there are some, but there's not that many. So so we just thought it'd be kind of nice to show what we kind of get up to, and then like the trip between Vegas and Anaheim. Yeah,
well, I'll be here watching that one as well. 100% excited for it. I've got like a new feature which I put in the last guest episode called Keep Update Close.
Okay.
I basically pick 3 random rides, and sometimes it's really mean, and sometimes I'm a bit like it's fairly nice. I don't think these are too bad. And the 3 I sent you 3 options, which were Rip Ride Rocket, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Big Thunder Mountain.
I'll let you go first.
Go on,
Dan. So I will keep Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that ride. OG, brilliant.
Classic,
I will update Rip Ride Rocket.
Nice.
Just because I feel like it does. It shakes your head around a bit.
There's a head jerker. Come off there, and I'm like, oh, and I'm getting 30, nearly 30.
Yeah, that's it. And I'll close Thunder Mountain.
You've gone for it. That's the most controversial way you could have gone. I mean, fair enough.
It is.
I've never done Thunder Mountain, funny enough. So
but just never been like high on the list of like, I've got to do this. It's just
for me, I don't like it. I find it a bit too jerky, and I've come off there feeling queasy so many times. But I now wear patches, so I am going to give it a go again on this trip. But because I never went on it, and on our first trip, Daniel didn't really do many rides, so he just naturally didn't go on it. And he actually finally tried to go on it last year. He walked all over there.
Yeah,
then got there, they were like,
you was busy. I think you was eating or drinking.
I went and got a little drink because I knew he was going over there.
And then I got there and it was closed.
So they were like, it's closed for the day. So we didn't end up going on it, but we're both going to do it this year.
100%.
But nice. For me, I'm going to keep Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm going to update Thunder Mountain just because I don't not like the ride. It just made me feel queasy, and I'm getting rid of Rip Ride Rocket because I don't like that anymore. It hurts my head. I feel like my brain is just getting chucked side to side within my skull when I'm on there.
Yeah.
And the last time I went on it, I came off there feeling so ill. It actually ruined me for the rest of the day. Luckily, it was like not long before we come home. And I do think I was getting a bit ill anyway because I'd come home and I had a really bad cold. So I do think it was a bit of that all. But I don't like it.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you've both gone that one kind of as either the update or the close. The thing I think it's, to be fair, I'm kind of with you. I actually think it's all right.
Yeah,
but I would say if they got rid of it, Universal would have no big rides.
True. I just feel like they could put something else there. Like they could maybe put a good Fast and Furious ride there, like what they're doing at Universal in Hollywood. So because the Fast and Furious that we've got is just not even worth talking about. I cannot believe they closed. Like, how many attractions closed for that one?
It was Beetlejuice and Disaster. Was it Disaster or Earthquake at that point?
Yeah, the Earthquake one. And I loved Earthquake. I remember the little pre-show they used to do. I got like brought up onto that when I was a kid. I loved that. And Fast and Furious is just not worth it. Absolutely not worth it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I know what we mentioned Jade and Matt earlier. Jade and Matt liked that ride. They preferred that to King Kong. And I remember me and you looking at each other like,
are you serious?
Are you serious?
What?
Are you serious?
Really?
I would just never forget that because I've never ever heard another vlogger saying that they like that ride, and this always just stuck with me. The Matt was like, it's better than King Kong, and I'm like,
each to their own.
Yeah, fair enough. That's no opinion divide sometimes. Nice. So talking about rides, kind of getting on to like my main 5 questions that I kind of ask everyone. What's your favourite ride then? Let's go whole of Orlando. I'm going to be mean. Let's just go favourite ride.
I feel like everyone knows mine because I've mentioned it a few times on the vlogs. Tower of Terror is my favourite. Nothing. I love other rides. I love so many rides, but that ride just it's up there. Always will be. Always has been. Ever since I first went on it, I've loved it. I just think it's brilliant.
Nice. Is it the nostalgia of it? Is it like where you've gone on it from kind of a young age as well?
I think so. And also the fact that I'll never forget one of the years that I went there, I was quite young, and there was these American guys in front of us, and they told us, they were like, "Oh, did you know if you went on this so many times in a row, you could have a different experience each time because there's different sequences for how many drops you'll get."
Yeah.
And so and now that I know that, every time you go on it is different. So I just feel like and there's also on one of the sequences, depending on which one you sit on, there's a hidden Mickey. Do you know, like when all the stars before the door open and Mickey transforms? And I don't know, I just like that. I just love it.
Out for it.
And you used to say you hated it, and you used to hate it. Every time you come up there, this big cheesy grin, and I'm like, you don't hate it.
I don't do drop rides. I just, but that I will always do Tower of Terror.
Even my mum said it. She goes, "I hate that ride, but it's my favorite one." And I'm like,
it's a weird feeling.
And I just remember like when I was a kid going there with my cousin. So I think it is the nostalgia actually. Like me and my cousin, we went and we'd been able to go on it the year before, but his little brother, my other cousin, hadn't. And I just remember as soon as we got to Hollywood Studios, we ran through the whole park to get there to see if he was tall enough yet, and he made it. And I don't know, I just got so many good memories from that ride. So I would,
fantastic.
As much as I'm excited to try the Disneyland Guardians version, I hope they never change this one because it's just a classic, and I actually think I'd cry if they did change it.
Go on then, Dan. What was your favourite ride?
So I struggled with this one because it is a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
I think every time you get off a ride,
know,
you say, "This
that's
is
my
my favorite." We had this conversation the other day, and he was like, and we watched one of our vlogs, and after he got off Hagrid's, he was like, "That's my favorite ride ever, new favorite." Then he got off Velocicoaster and said the exact same thing, and we were like, "Do you have a favorite?"
Yeah, I'm going to say Guardians.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I come off that ride with the biggest grin on my face.
Yeah, amazing.
The roller coaster, it's different, obviously, because
and the excitement of trying to get what song you're going to get.
You know, like, what song we're going to get, and
have you had a favourite song on the ride?
One Way or Another is mine.
Yeah,
I like September.
I love September as well, but One Way or Another reminds me of the Rugrats movie when I was a kid, because Angelica loses her little doll, and I think I said that in my last round of vlogs, and it just reminds me of that film. So I love that. I love that song. So either of them two, I'm happy for either of them two. I think last year when we went on it the first time, our first 4 times we went on, we got Iran, so we're a bit sick to death of that. I do like it.
Yeah,
I would appreciate to not have that for a hot while.
Yeah, it's something different. Nice. And are you quite a big Marvel fan?
Not really, no.
So it doesn't tip it. I was just going to ask whether or not that kind of tips you to like that being one of your favourite.
I like all the Marvel films, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like a huge fan, I'd say.
I love the film Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. My brother actually has a dog, and she looks like Rocket. So
nice.
Her name's Poppy, but I nicknamed her Rocket.
Awesome. So moving on from favourite ride, what's your favourite park then?
You're going to go first here.
Yeah, mine's Epcot.
Nice.
100% Epcot, because I love the size, like the size of it. It's a huge park. And World Showcase, I love World Showcase. I love going around all the countries, drinking, eating. It's a bit of me.
Yeah, it's chilled out as well, isn't it? And like,
you've got the rides there as well. So you've got Guardians, Soaring, I really, really love.
Test Track.
Yeah. Love Test Track. I'm so gutted it's not going to be open when we're there.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Test Track? Do you think it needs the update?
I
think they're going to do
so. Yeah, just purely because how often it does break down. So obviously it is needed, but again, whether if they're going to be able to fix that, who knows? Like, because it's it's an old system now, isn't it? So there's only.
Yeah, I suppose it depends how big an overhaul they end up actually doing on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
the original one, the very first one,
I remember doing it in like 1999, and like it was wild.
Yeah, I do feel like they tamed it, unless it's just because I was so much younger when I done that, so it felt
quicker. Yeah,
I just feel like it felt tamed down the newer version. Obviously, it's not newer now, gone now, but
Epcot though, good shout.
100%, it's Epcot.
Mine is genuinely a tie between Epcot and Animal Kingdom, because each time I go into either one of those parks, I'm like, it's my favorite park. So I physically don't think I can choose, but I'm going to say Animal Kingdom because I just love walking around that park. I just think it's such a pretty park, like, because it just has that like lovely outdoorsy jungle feeling to it. And I'm just, as much as I die from the heat in that park because it's ridiculously hot, I just love it. I absolutely love it. And like, we love walking around like the animal trails, like the Gorilla Trek and things like that.
We had a really good time there last time, didn't we?
Yeah,
Gorilla Trek.
We was literally walking around there for like an hour, and we had a really good cast member. He was telling us loads of different stories. And he was like telling us a story about the birds in one bit. We were in the bird aviary, and he was like showing us where the boy birds were building their nests. He's like, because the girl birds in a different side. He's like, last year they all built their nest in this tree. He said, but this year they're building them in this tree because they was wondering why they didn't get the ladies, because the men build the nests and ladies come over. And he's like, but no ladies came. So they were like, rather than thinking it's a them problem, they was like, it's a location problem. So we'll move to a different location. And I don't know, just speaking to somebody like him, he was so passionate about his job. He was just brilliant. And we were in there for so long. Then he was telling us stories about the gorillas, and they
played the games, didn't they, in the morning with them.
Each morning they put like food out for the gorillas, and they put them in like a little, it's like a quiz. So the gorillas have to work out how to open the box. He's like, within 10 seconds they always work it out, and he goes, they always then look at the trainers and say, "This is how we've got." Like,
amazing.
So I just think that's just, I don't know, I just really like that park. It's my like happy park, I'd say.
Yeah. Have you ever done like where you get to like pet the goats?
Yeah, we did that last year, didn't we? That was good. They had one of them was like kind of kicking up a little bit, weren't he? He was.
No, we have done that. That was the first time last trip, wasn't it? We did that.
And we got stuck over there because the heavens decided to open and it rained I've never in my life, even in Florida, seen rain like it. I had my bag was zipped up, but do you know, like the little tiny bit of material where the zip is connected to, it was raining so heavy that the water managed to seep through that, because it was a leather bag, and my bag was like filled up with water.
Oh my God.
There was not genuinely nothing on us was dry, and it just came down. But I was speaking to a girl, who was it that was out there at the same time? Becky. She was out there, and they were in Magic Kingdom. It was completely blue skies, not a drop of rain ever hit them, and we were like the wettest we've ever been from
How
rain.
bizarre. Yeah. Amazing. This is one of my favorite questions. What's your kind of hidden gem or most underrated, you know, kind of either or?
So I answered, because obviously I saw some of your questions beforehand, and I as soon as I saw this question, I knew what my answer was going to be, and it's the same as what you say, Dr. Dooms, and I
love that someone's finally said Dr. Dooms.
Daniel came home from work, and I already had said it before I heard you ever say it, and I was like, oh my God, like we literally agree on this, because I love any type of drop ride. Like, as I said, Tower of Terror is my favorite ride, and I just think, because Dr. Doom is like Tower and Terror kind of in like reverse, I just think it's brilliant. And I we were talking on Instagram about it the other day. I would queue 45 minutes for that ride. I love it. I think it's brilliant.
So good. And I know I keep saying it, but the views at night, if you can get the views, are so good on it. Oh, it's a wicked ride.
And there's like never a queue for it. Like when I was a kid, when I was a lot younger, I remember, do you know where the bit where you kind of go around the railings, you're going up? I remember queuing back there quite a few times. The last few years that I've been, there's never been a queue in there.
No, it's literally a walk on every time. Yeah, which is always a win. Like if you can just get on the ride when you want to get on it, like literally.
But I do think that kind of worries me as well, because I'm like, if it's so empty, does that mean it's a?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything they could really put in that space? There isn't that much space there.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a big space, is it? So I mean,
I'm hoping that means it's safe, because
hopefully. Nice. Go on, and Dan.
I'm yet to do Dr. Doom. Still haven't done it. And
every time he's gone to do it, he's got to the doors and then he's like, nah. Walked off again.
Not interested.
So I'm determined to 1 year make it happen, and I'm hoping this year is the year.
I have to do it. I'm gonna do it for you, because we'll do it.
I'll let you know if he does, because
I mean, he said it now. So
he said it.
It's on record that it's happening.
I'm going to get this episode up and play it to him when we're walking into the park. Remember when we said this on the 14th of July?
Yeah. So my most underrated will probably be Living of the Land.
Nice. Oh, that's a shout.
After a long day walking around Epcot and World Showcase, you just go in there, sit down, aircon, and just have a real nice chilled ride round, just enjoying it. It's very educational as well. So
to be fair, a few people have said it actually. Like it's because it's chilled and it's just like it's relaxed and it's away from that kind of rush again of the park. So I appreciate
different Mickey shaped vegetables or
Oh, nice. I mean, that's a cool shout. I like it.
One time we did it. Was it 4 times in a row?
We went in a row. We went there on when the borders just opened. We were there just after the Christmas period. We were there for New Year's, and we obviously had to book your park days back then, and we didn't know how busy the parks were going to be. We wouldn't know if we'd ever be able to park hop. So we just stayed in Epcot literally from the moment it opened right up until gone midnight, because we watched all the fireworks. So we'd done Epcot to the bone that day, and we couldn't find a seat anywhere because it was getting really busy. There weren't even like, do you know, obviously in the Eaton areas in like Four Seasons, is it downstairs? There was nowhere to sit. So we just kept going on Living with Land because it didn't have a queue. So after like the 4th or 5th time, my dad was like, I never need to go on this ride for the rest of my life. But we were just doing it for a break, an aircon break, because it was actually weirdly hot that year as well. I know like December, January can be quite cold, or can get cold, but they actually had a heat wave that year, and it was melting that day. We just needed a break, and Living with the Land was our rescue.
There you go. Nice. And now it's it's Dan's hidden gem.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Number 1.
That's it.
Yeah, going from underrated, what's your most overrated then? This could be the controversial one.
For me, I think Big Thunder Mountain's overrated. I know so many people love it and put it up there as quite like one of their favourite rides, and like they say it's a must do. I wouldn't be sad to see it close.
Yeah. I think it gets a lot of hype, and I've said this before that like Disney rides do. They do get a huge amount of hype, and like if people love them, they love them. Like so, and I think it's one of those just because it's kind of been around for a little while that like there's a bit of nostalgia that people kind of go a bit crazy for it.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like there would be a bit of a stampede, sort of, if it ever went like closed.
Yeah.
Like Disney did announce they were closing it. You'd get the hardcore OG fans there. I actually feel like they would like strap themselves to the ride.
Yeah, amazing.
Mine would be Star Tours. I don't know. There's so many people rave about it, but I come off that ride feeling ill.
And you don't get ill on rides.
And I never get ill on rides. I don't know what it is. It's obviously the motion, but.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just where it's like it's quite old as well, isn't it? So the ride system's just a bit juddery and a bit rough.
Yeah.
No, I think the screens probably aren't all that either.
No, I agree. Yeah, and I feel like, especially for you to come off feeling sick, 'cause you never. I do get queasy on rides. As I said, I do wear motion sickness patches now, which have really, really helped me. But you have never had that issue. So when he came off it feeling sick, I was actually quite surprised.
I find Star Tours worse than Mission Space.
No way.
Really? Okay.
I get on with Mission Space. Don't know why, but Star Tours, yeah.
Nah, Mission Space, that is dead to me. It ruined one of my days of my. This was before it had like the tame version.
Yeah.
As I said, me and my brother are quite similar on things. We both went on this ride and we were done for the day. We didn't have dinner that day. Like, but we went back to the villa. Me and him stayed in. It made us feel. I was quite young as well, but it made us feel ill. I just don't really do well with really spinny things like teacups. Yeah. You'll never get me on the teacups. You'll never get me on the waltzers.
No. To be fair, I don't mean there's many adults who are up for.
True.
Like,
you hit 10 and your body's like, we ain't built for this.
Yeah, no. I don't. To be fair, I don't understand how kids enjoy it. Going on teacups and stuff. Like, how is it fun?
I didn't even enjoy it as kids, to be honest. I remember, like, I used to go to like I don't know, like fairgrounds and stuff with my cousins, and I'd go on the waltzes with them. But the whole time I'm sat on there, I'm like, I want to get off. I want to get off. I was like pretending to enjoy it because they were enjoying it.
On to the final question then. Final question is best thing to do outside of the parks.
I'm gonna say with what we said earlier. I think going on the airboats, like Boggy Creek or something.
Yeah.
It's definitely something different to do, and you're getting that kind of experience of like real Florida, seeing the gators.
Also, having like your guide on the boat as well.
Yeah,
I think like because they're so knowledgeable of the area.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you get like a really good one, and they can get like we had a guy that was so good. He knew where like a nest had been laid recently, so he knew that they were going to like have like hatched or whatever soon, or however alligators are formed. And there was millions of like baby alligators around our boat.
Right.
Like, we were looking around and there was nothing going on, and he'd done this little judder with the engine, and then the water ripples, and then all of a sudden there was just millions of them like swimming around us. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But then we also had years ago we had a bit of a bad driver, and it's become a running joke in our family now. He just like didn't bother. It was like he weren't looking for alligators. He was like just taking us on this little scenic route, and he's like, and if you look to the right, you'll see cows, lots of cows. And we were like, okay. And now anytime any of my family see cows in the field, we'll send each other a text like, cows, lots of cows. Like Daniel weren't even on that holiday, and even he's like joined in. He's
on the bandwagon. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. It's, to be fair, I like to shout. Like, I know I've spoke about airboats a lot, and I agree. To be fair, I've had experiences of like really good kind of like drivers on the boat, and then had ones where like they literally just like kind of whiz you around, and that's it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it was fun to be on the boat, but I haven't actually seen anything.
Yeah. Which one do you do? Do you do Boggy Creek?
Boggy Creek. I've done, to be fair, I've done 4 or 5 of them, and Boggy Creek's the best one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think last time we went to Boggy Creek, the tour guide, he done like a 360 on the airboat, and we didn't do that last time. I think it was great. Like, he was proper good at driving.
Yeah,
like a proper
really good
experienced driver, weren't he?
Yeah,
he was good. I would say that was one of my favorite Boggy Creek trips. That one we done.
Yeah.
And once when I was a kid, there was a huge gator, and obviously I was a kid as well, and I saw it and I was like, this don't feel safe, but also like it was exciting.
Go on then, Dan. Final question. Best thing to do outside the park?
Same as Kimberly, really. It's airboats, the mini golf, like I mentioned, and shopping. We do like a bit of shopping, enjoy that. It's like a nice little rest day just to go out and have a mooch around the shops.
And just being there.
Exactly.
Just being there, like
wherever we are, even if it's just driving
around.
around.
Last year when we were there, we just went for a drive because we're staying at a new villa site this year. We've never stayed at that one. So me and Daniel just took a drive out there, and like in the evenings, and just doing nothing, driving around. We just love being there. Just the whole vibe. Like someone asked me on Instagram the other day about Disneyland Paris. And don't get me wrong, I would love to go there again sometime, but I'm not really that interested in it because I love the feeling of being in Florida. Just everything, the atmosphere, just the whole vibe. So I think the best thing to do outside of the parks is to just be in Orlando.
So this was the episode with Kimberly and Dan Hambleton. Thank you so much to both of them for coming on to the podcast. This is an episode that I've had planned in for a long time, like I said at the beginning of the episode, and I've been looking forward to it ever since the day that we managed to get it booked in. I enjoy their content on Instagram and YouTube so much, so genuinely please go and check out all of their social media channels that they've got. I hope you've all enjoyed listening to it as much as I've enjoyed recording it, and I will speak to you all in the next one.